it's Heather Merriweather coming at you today. We're giving you the ingredients to concoct your own series of delicious dishes. So, first of all, what is meal prep? Well, for the purposes of this video, I'm going to be defining it as a individually portioned batch of meals that you make ahead of time and either are frozen or kept in the fridge until you're ready to eat. What are the benefits of prepping? So you can make it portable, efficient, reduce waste, and it makes it easier to stick to your budget or nutrition goals if you're buying a batch of food and prepping it all into different meals. It lets you eat home-cooked meals every day without taking the time to prepare ahead of time. And it can be convenient if you are not going to have access to a microwave or a way to reheat your food during mealtime. However, if you don't like leftovers or get bored with your meals easily, this is probably not for you. So, what are some tips for success? First of all, if you're a beginner, start with containers you already have. Start small, like prep for only one meal of the day, such as breakfast. You want to choose your recipes beforehand. There's a lot of websites and other resources. We're going to highlight some of them for you today. Set aside a large block of time for choosing your recipes, for shopping, for cooking, and especially cleaning. Make sure you do the dishes before starting to prep and during, really. Take a list with you to the grocery store so you can make sure you have everything you need beforehand. What are some different types of meal prep? The very easiest, you can just chop up your veggies or, get your meat cut and ready to cook beforehand for the week ahead. That's the most basic level. You can also freeze your meals or even freeze the ingredients ahead of time. But recipes I've found online are going to be individually portioned meals. So for that, we can do glass containers, plastic containers. Glass and plastic containers are easy to clean and durable. All right, and one final tip for success, this is very important. Make sure that the food you're cooking is not going to spoil before you're finished eating it, especially meat. You should check the FDA refrigeration guidelines to be sure, but most meats can only be kept in the fridge for 2 to 4 days. Now, of course, if you freeze your portions beforehand, this is not going to be an issue. So let's look at a couple of meal ideas to get you started. All right, so what kinds of food can you make? Well, items that don't spoil or get wet very quickly are going to be your best bet. So we want to stay away from leafy greens unless you just leave them in the bag. You don't want to portion them out with the rest of the food ahead of time. Berries, cut fruit, chips and crackers, and sliced avocados we're going to stay away from. So for breakfast, some good ones might be overnight oats, yogurt packs, where you have the yogurt and then toppings in a separate container, or egg cups, where you mix, kind of like an omelet, but then they get baked in a muffin tin in the oven. Those can be saved and eaten on the day of. Now, for lunch and dinner recipes, I like to do what are called bowl meals, where you have one carb, a protein, and greens or vegetables, and then they get all mixed together in the bowl. So some good carbs for that are like pasta or quinoa or rice. You have a portion of that. For your protein, you could do, chicken or beef, hard-boiled eggs maybe, or tofu. Some veggies that are well suited to meal prep are broccoli, cauliflower, green beans, Brussels sprouts, carrots, peas and beets. And if you are looking for some leafy greens, cabbage is really great. Try to stay away from things like cucumbers, bell peppers, and tomatoes, as they tend to get less fresh pretty quickly. But the secret to the bowl meal is the sauce. You can add that on later in order to keep the bowl fresh, but changing up your sauce or toppings every day can help keep you from getting bored as you eat the same meal throughout the week. Soy sauce, barbecue sauce, make your own. There's all kinds of things online or in print for inspiration, which leads me to, we've got a couple of great books at the library that can tell you a little bit more about prepping your own meals at home. And there's a couple of websites online that you can try out as well. Thanks for tuning in.